Now you listen here, Jimmy. The only way you're gonna save yourself from those nightmares is if you stay a virgin to those horror picture shows they're showing down at the theater. You stay away from those films, you hear? I don't know, Tom. I kinda like those movies. You know, they give me kind of a thrill you can't get from those hot rod ones you're always watching. I don't care about the nightmares. I love them.
Alrighty, guys, how's it going? You're listening to another episode of Horror Movie Virgins with your host Daniel and the homegirl.
Me.
Kelsey's back again. Just can't get rid of her, man. She keeps wanting to watch horror movies. She's flipping me off. I'm just fucking around. So, this one was not planned. We were talking about the movie Pandorum is a movie that I really like, and we were like, oh, we should watch that next. Well, the other day, I was putting on just some Amazon Prime to put on like a movie, and I saw that Bones and All is on there, and that is a movie that I have been waiting for to do, and I've just been too lazy or just didn't financially want to buy it at the time because I knew if I bought it, I was gonna want to watch it right away and not like wait to have somebody to watch this movie with. And then it was on it was on Prime, and so I hit up Kelsey here, and I was like, "Yo, we're gonna do this movie. Come over Tuesday. We're watching
If you watched it without me, I was gonna be pissed off.
it." She's even like, "You're gonna watch it without me," and I was like, "No, I swear I'm not." And I didn't.
You had such, you wanted to so bad.
I did. I wanted to watch it really bad because I've really wanted to watch this movie for a while, like since I heard about it. So I'm really stoked we're gonna do it. It kind of looks like, I mean, obviously it's like a romance movie a little bit.
Kinda.
Yeah,
Not really.
it seems like it's gonna be a very good blend of like a romance horror, but not in a cheesy way. Not like what's that
I
warm.
think it's more like they're willing to die for each other, kind of cheesy romantic.
Right,
thing.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna be like Bones and All, or not Bones and All. What's that zombie one? Warm Bodies.
I love that movie.
You did? I think I wouldn't
Yeah.
say it was bad. It was just so cheesy. You're just like,
That
it's
was
kind
a
of
love story.
that was a straight love story.
This one is like, I love you so much, I'm gonna eat you.
I'd kill for you.
Literally.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm excited to see because I mean it doesn't show too much. It just shows that like they're like these weird, like in the commercial they called, or trailer they call themselves eaters. So it's gonna be cool to see like if I want to know, like I don't know, like can they eat anything else but people, or is it like
Well, he was making that weird chicken thing, so but you never really see her eat it. So I guess
no? But
we'll
even
go
then
find out.
she's like, oh, you hungry? I'm making something, and she's like the hens, and he's kind of quiet, and she's like, is there someone dead upstairs? Like that. I think that's like either they were in somebody else's house and he killed them, and
And then he like just ended up squatting there.
yeah, and the reason there's chicken out is because that's what they were gonna make before he got there. Maybe something like that. But
He's a creepy guy too.
he does a good job of
He
being
played
a
in other
creepy guy.
movies. He's a creepy guy.
Yeah, there's a movie that came out called The Outfit. It's like a mob movie that he's in. He's not creepy in that, but like his seriousness that he's able to do makes himself a creepy dude.
He's also in the movie Dunkirk.
Oh yeah, he's the guy that rides drives the boat.
Very good in that movie too.
Yeah. But even then, in there, like he's very serious, so it's not, but not creepy. But the way to see this, like with where he's gonna be have that seriousness, but try to be scary, that's gonna be cool. I'm excited to see him in this. The kid, the boy,
Timothy Chalamet.
yes, I think he's a good actor, so I'm excited
I
to see
do
him
too.
in this.
I mean, I know people have their qualms.
I know a lot of people talk shit about him in Dune, and I'll admit, like,
I liked it.
I liked it. I liked Dune a lot, and I thought he was okay. But like hearing like people talk, like all he did was like keep his head down and talk quietly, monotone.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
That's what they told him to do. He's gonna do it.
Yeah, like did you see that movie on Or oh my god, I'm getting so fucked up with my words today for some reason. On Netflix, it's just called The King. It's about
Yeah, I actually watched like a good 45 minutes of it. And I was like, I can't watch this anymore.
Really, I loved that movie.
I liked it.
But he did a good job in that too.
Isn't Robert Pattinson in that movie too?
Yes,
he
and
plays the
Prince of
right.
France or something. He did great too. Robert Pattinson, I think, is a great actor. Granted, he was in some shitty movies that I haven't seen them, and I refuse to. But
part of my teenage upbringing.
I bet most females your age, it was part of their teenage upbringing.
Guys, I've read the books. Does that count?
Yeah, I would say that's part of it. But his acting and everything else I've seen him in, it like blows me away. I think he's a great
now,
actor.
yes, because
Yeah.
it chooses very interesting roles.
Yeah, like when I think the King was the first movie I really saw him in,
Mhm.
and I was like, wow, he did a good fucking job. And then I saw Tenet, and
Yeah, that's
and
my
then
favorite movie.
oh my god, he did so good, and I was like, damn, I'm like he could fucking act. And then he blew it away in Batman, in my
Oh, I'll
opinion.
show you another movie that you'll really like.
Okay,
that
I'm
he's
dead.
in.
Yeah. So back to Bones and All.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah. So he's a good actor. I'm excited to see him in this. I don't really recognize the girl, at all.
She's been in other things.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just have to show you.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's pretty good.
She's good. And then that other dude the other weird dude that they run into in the trailer, with like the long hair, kind of creepy guy.
That main guy that's following her, or the one that he said that was.
He was teaching the other dude how to smell.
Yeah, I could have sworn that guy was in the last Conjuring movie that they just came out with.
Was he?
Yeah, the guy that owned that pet, like, hospital, hotel, whatever the fuck they were doing there. The one that the main character kills. I could have sworn that's the same guy.
Is the last Conjuring movie, was that the one called The Devil Made Me Do It?
Yes.
I saw that once and I never rewatched
Oh well,
it.
I
So I
watched
would
it a
remember.
bunch, so I think it's the same guy.
Yeah, but he does a good job of being kind of creepy. And he looks creepy as fuck in this. Like this movie seems like it's not really gonna be like scary. I feel like it's gonna be more like it's gonna bother you.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna make you uneasy.
For sure.
Especially them like killing like people to eat them kind of thing. Like
Mhm.
that's gonna be uneasy as fuck to watch. But I'm still excited. Like I was really excited to see this movie, and now we're finally get into it. So
Yeah.
I'm stoked. Do you have any kind of first thoughts? Like what are you expecting?
I can't tell if it's cannibalism or zombies.
That's the other
I'm
thing.
very confused.
That's the other thing. I hope they explain it a little bit. I know like in the movie Raw I was telling you about, it's like she's raised like vegetarian or vegan kind of thing, like vegetarian, because once she like eats meat, like she starts like craving like human meat for some reason, or raw
I think
meat.
it's like a weird affliction.
Yeah, and then like she finds out later that her older sister has it and that her mom has it too. And that's why they were raised vegetarian, because they know that like if you try meat, you're gonna want to eat people. Like the ending, it's super.
Maybe it's like a weird curse thing.
Yeah, like I don't ever plan on watching Raw and doing it on here, so I'll kind of if you guys um don't want it to be ruined, maybe I'll wait. I'll wait till I probably won't ruin it for you guys. Fuck that. I won't ruin it, but I'll tell you after we're done recording.
Okay.
Because it was pretty cool like ending, I thought, but the movie just like dragged forever and it wasn't very good, I don't think,
Oh.
but it was okay. But yeah, so I wonder if it's gonna be something like that where it's like you're saying it's something that like they crave, and like I don't know if, because even he's like you either in the trailer he's like you either eat off yourself or you lock yourself away. Like so is it something like, do they actually need, like you're saying, like a zombie kind of thing, like
Yeah, where like it's like they don't know they're doing it.
yeah, or
It just happens.
yeah, and like they have to do it to survive, or can they
Or they
eat
can
other
like
meat?
wither away and die if they don't do it.
Because even they're like the fact that they can smell each other from long
That's
distances,
creepy as hell.
that's creepy as fuck. So we'll see. Like I don't know. I'm kind of excited because I'm also very curious on what it could be. But I hope they explain it. If they don't, hopefully just give
I
something.
feel like maybe it'll allude to it, just be like really not as significant as you think it's gonna be.
Right.
Like you'll have to really
Kind of connect the
figure
dots
it
on
out
your own.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because even if they just allude to it a little bit and kind of be like, okay, so these people do this, like we're saying, like if they don't, they'll die, or
Yeah.
like then I'll be like, okay, cool, then it's some kind of weird thing, versus like it's just something that they feel like they have to do, like because like it's like a craving or some bullshit. But it says bones and all, so I wonder if they do eat everything, because that would be even creepier. Like they chew on the
Oh,
fucking
they
bone.
just like in the trailer when she bites that girl's finger, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure she just takes it clean off.
Right. And then the other thing too, I really want to see that scene, because in the trailer the dad's like, I know you had to eat them, but like
He goes, like you've had it since you were a baby. I know you have to do it, but you
Yeah,
need to leave now.
I wonder if she does like end up eating all those girls in that scene, because that'd be fucking crazy.
Oh, she ate all of them at the sleepover. That'd be crazy.
That would be a good fucking like start to this too, or just to see like her just fucking go full animal or
And
a
just eat
rabbit
all
and
of
just
them.
just start eating these fucking kids.
Because why now all of a sudden she has to leave? if she's
Yeah.
been
All
doing
she did was
it.
bite a finger off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unless she's like doing it in the middle of the night. She's just eating. Also, no animals. Are you not supposed to eat an animal?
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
just
Like,
people.
yeah, like you can't like get
Just
pet
go out
rabbits
there
and
and
make them
yeah, and
breed and
just
just
start
eat rabbit,
chowing down on those guys.
or some chickens just live on a farm. And just
Maybe
eat.
it tastes different. Now we're getting to weird cannibalism.
Yeah. Like I said, it could be craving or like or it's what they have to do. They
Yeah.
have to eat human. But yeah, I'm ready if you are.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back, guys, and we'll be back with spoilers. So be ready. Alrighty, and we are back.
Woo!
So we already kind of started shooting the shit about the movie because we couldn't like help ourselves, and both of us were like, "We gotta wait. We have to wait." But man, we both kind of feel the same about it,
Yeah, it was just. I feel like I have no words, but all the words at the same time.
right? My thing, I honestly was disappointed.
At the end, yes, I was.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
Yeah, I feel like what they portrayed in the trailers was everything that you wanted to see in the movie. They showed in the trailer, and the
Mhm.
rest of the movie that's not shown in the trailer is just romance bullshit.
Yeah.
It played more like a romance love story than a horror movie or anything, in my opinion.
There wasn't enough like horror to it.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it was so much alluding to them being in love.
yeah, because they never really,
but like
yeah,
not at the same time. They were just
Right.
like fighting the whole time.
right. Like the other thing too, like when we were talking about it, where they only killed one dude.
Technically one guy.
Right, because the other one, there was the lady that was already dying, and even then it was just her and the old guy that ate him.
Yeah.
And then when she meets the guy, he kills someone off scene, off camera,
Mhm.
and then that was it. And then they killed the guy at the theme park.
Which I think that was like the highlight of the movie.
Yeah,
Was
and-
really just that one.
yeah, and then even then, like it was weird. Like she got all upset because he had a family and stuff. But in the tapes, the dad talks about how she ate like a 3-year-old. No, like she ate a kid at camp when she was
Yeah.
away at camp, and then he knew that she did it, and like even though she didn't tell him that he did it,
Mhm.
and when it came to light, like she didn't feel anything about it or like feel any remorse. But when it came to killing this guy and finding out he had a family, all of a sudden, like she like was like throwing herself like, oh my god, he had a family.
There was a baby and a wife. And
All
okay.
dramatic, yeah, all dramatic when it's already been preluded that she doesn't really feel remorse for doing it, and then she's like, we should feel bad. It's like, well, you already portrayed her as a character that doesn't feel bad for doing this.
Yeah.
So that was where I was like, this is so fucking dumb. And they kept like arguing about that one kill the entire movie. And it's like,
And he was like, get over it.
yeah, we need to survive. We need
What
to do
you
this.
want? What we need to do?
Yeah, we do this to survive. Like,
You said you were hungry. I helped you.
yeah. And then on top of that too, like, so we did see that it wasn't like, it was more like a craving, but it's something still inside them that they do need to do.
Mhm.
That we found out that they do need to do it. The only things that were like horror was like how creepy the one dude was.
Yeah, he was mega
Solely,
creepy.
yeah, and then kind of like at the end, he just like randomly is at their house, and it's like, okay, this is so fucking random.
This was like the one exciting moment.
Yeah,
Is when she walks in and he attacks her.
right. Why couldn't the whole movie be like? And then like he did admit that he was following her for a while too, like
Mhm.
after their first encounter. It's like, okay, well, where was all that to make this creepy or scary?
Yeah,
This-
you could have put him in the background somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, or anything where there was more interaction with him, because even they meet those other two dudes at the lake,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the one dude who's human, just regular human,
Mm-hmm.
that indulges in eating people alive, like the eaters do, and he's hanging out with that eater who's showing him like the ways of being an eater, and then they're in the car and they're leaving, and you can just never
Nothing
hear.
happened.
Nothing happens. That went nowhere, and I was like, why? That could have been so cool. Like the way the movies portrayed this, or the trailer portrayed this movie, in my head, I thought it was gonna be like they meet up, they kind of like fall in love, and on their journey to wherever their journey is, which it was her finding her mom, like they meet these other eaters that it looked to me like they were gonna meet a group of eaters that are like a group that do this
it
together.
seemed that way.
Yeah, and it was gonna be a thing where he wants to go because he's like, oh, there's other eaters, and look, they're adults, we're just kids, and they've lived their lives.
We can figure it
We
out.
can figure it out with them. They can teach us.
Mhm.
And she'll be like, no, what they do is evil. The way they kill, blah blah blah. That's how the trailers look to me, and I was like, that's gonna be a cool movie because we're gonna see some horror. Like these
Mhm.
guys, we're gonna see these fucking people like killing people to eat them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like vicious kind of thing, like a creature feature, but they're just humans eating people. And instead, what we got was a love story where they just kill one guy together.
And it was just so awkward. Their
Yeah.
weird love story.
Yes,
Like,
even like at the end.
I did not understand that
Me
at
neither.
all.
So like at the end, like he's dying. They just killed the guy, and they're like, we can't
He
call.
gets stabbed.
He gets stabbed, and like it's not like in the heart. It's just a sucking chest wound because she's like, there's air coming out of it. So it's something that you could fix right there in the house by
Mhm.
throwing a piece of plastic over it. And they like, and she's like, we can't call 911. We can't bring an ambulance here because they'll see the blood and see his dead body.
Mhm.
And in my head, I'm like, I even said it while watching. It's like, well, who cares? You can say he broke in. There's proof that
Yeah.
he broke in, but because one, it's your word versus his, and your homeboy has a knife wound. Two, he carries a thing of hair of people that he's eaten.
Literally pulls out a long rope of hair of people that he's eaten.
Yes.
And she's like, we can't call the cops.
We can't call the
They're
cops.
never
You-
going to help us.
Yes, you can prove right there in his case
That he's
that
psychotic.
that you don't even say that he eats people. You can say this guy broke in, tried to kill me. Homeboy came home, caught him in the act, and we fucked him up. But he's
Mhm.
hurt. Like I was like, and then instead of that, he has this weird thing where he's like, no, you need to eat me. You need to eat me, bones and all, and everything. And she starts eating him while he's alive. I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, if homeboy's dying and you're refusing to do anything to help him, and he's saying that you need to eat me for some weird reason.
He's like, you have to eat me because you love me. And I'm like, I don't understand this.
Yeah, she can just take you to the hospital
It's
too.
not that hard. I can just get your ass up off the floor.
Yeah, and it's a sucking chest wound. It's not something that, I mean, it's dire, but it's not something that you can't walk your ass to the car.
Yeah.
If as long as you're
They
not
obviously
out of
have
breath.
a car.
Yeah, they have a car.
Or go outside and call the fucking ambulance.
Yeah, and say, yeah, it just was so, I honestly, I was disappointed. I was so disappointed.
I wouldn't necessarily was disappointed. I think I assumed that it was gonna be more not horror, but that it was gonna be at least a little bit, scary,
Right. Yeah,
suspenseful.
because this like scariest part, in my opinion, where it was like scary, was when they're leaving that camp and the guy starts chasing after the car.
And he starts running.
Yeah,
I don't
that-
like that shit.
Yeah, that was weird. That was like you're like, oh shit, that was scary, like horror.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was it, the whole movie. That was like everything else was just like, even like when they killed that guy, it was so like underwhelming. Like he cut his throat and then they just started eating him, and he's just sitting there dying. And I'm like, okay, well,
Okay, you could have made that a little bit scarier.
yeah.
I think it was a little bit more suspenseful when she actually found the mom and she goes into the hospital.
Oh, that okay.
That
That, was
could've been good.
That was a scary part.
That
too, though,
was
like, where
too.
She lunged at her.
Also, love how they just walked her into a psych ward. Hey,
Yeah.
my mom's here.
Yeah, well, hey, my,
They don't do that.
Well, this movie takes place later, earlier, like in the 70s.
I think it's
Because-
it's the 80s.
I think you're right. It's either late 70s or early 80s. I
Yeah.
think. But like you're saying, like either way, like you don't just walk into a psych ward and be
Be
like,
like,
oh,
hey, my mom's here.
my mom's here, and then they go like, oh sure, come on in. I mean, she had her birth certificate, but even then,
You
like,
can, I mean, okay, sure, it is the 80s and you have your birth certificate and you'd be like, that's my mom. I mean, they can't believe you. Now you can't do that.
Right.
Because people fake shit all the time.
yeah, and even then you'd need like it's visitation hours. Like you can't just show up.
You just walked into this poor woman's room while she's having a psychotic episode. She
Yeah.
chewed off both of her fucking hands.
Yes.
She's got nubs.
Yep.
And she's like, here, she wrote you a letter before she chewed off her hands.
Yeah. Why not give her the letter like at a different time, or be like, hey, like in the way I would think it's like, hey, that she's medicated. Now's not a good time. Visiting hours
Yeah.
are this time when they're
She's
not
not
medicated.
lucid.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anything out of her.
Yeah.
And then she decided to read the letter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was suspenseful because she was reading it, and then that mom just fucking lunges at her.
Yeah, yeeted at her. Is like, I'm gonna kill this bitch. But like, yeah, and then like the dad dipping, like I didn't understand that either. I'm like, it would have been different if like it was right after that first, where they show that first incident where she bites the fingers. I thought it was gonna be then where he's like, dude, like I just can't fucking do this anymore. You need to leave.
From the trailer, they made it seem like he made her leave,
Right.
not that they left together.
Yeah, and then he left her at when
Mhm.
she turned 18.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was like, and then even then I was like, really, like at 18, he's just like, I'm out for no reason. Like he didn't even seem like there was like a reason for him to go. He's just like, I can't do this anymore. But even then, it's like, and then he talks about all the stuff he did do, which didn't seem like too much.
No.
She would like eat people on the side, and he would just have to deal with knowing like, oh shit, I think that kid that went missing in the neighborhood,
My daughter ate him.
my daughter ate him. Yeah, it was the only person he had to help deal besides moving, obviously. But the
Yeah.
only person he had to help deal with was the babysitter, her first kill at
Mhm.
3 years old.
Where he wrapped her up and
Mm-hmm.
buried her where no one was gonna find her.
Yeah, because he was like, yeah, they never found her body or whatever. But like, I don't know, man. I still like I was entertained and I watched it. I
Yeah.
paid attention.
Yeah.
But like when the movie ended, I was like, fuck, man, that was like nothing that I thought it was gonna be. This was just a fucking straight up love story and a weird love story at
I
that.
don't know if it was supposed to have like some underlying premise that we just completely missed.
Who knows, man? Who
Because I
knows?
mean, even at the end when it's like the final scene,
Yeah,
they're both together on this blanket in the
Yeah.
middle of fucking nowhere, like half naked.
yeah. Like I don't know if
So
that
did he
was.
die? Did he not die?
Yeah, like was that like a flashback to before like everything when
Yeah.
they had their moment, or because during the movie too, there's like little flashbacks where they're in a field together,
Mhm.
and I think that was that.
Oh, maybe.
But like we said, like there was no, it was just like dropped on you, like it was supposed to be like some skewed message, and even then, like I feel like it was way over. Like it just was like I don't know. This feels like some like AI generated it.
A little bit. I mean, she got upset after he killed that one
Yeah.
guy in the field, and then she realized he had a family, and then she was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna leave now."
Yeah,
Puts the money on the dash and runs away.
yeah,
And then they don't give you like a timeline in between. Obviously, she finds the mom,
right,
and then she goes back to the sister, and she was like, "Hey, where's your brother?
yeah.
I love him."
Oh, and then the sister, the fact that the sister died, that's just kind of brushed over so quick at the end. It's like, oh, by
Yeah.
the way, he ate his sister.
I guess that's how they figured out where he figured out where they are
Right, right. That's how they figured out how he figured out
because the
where
sister
they
knew.
are. Right. But like even then, like she like finds the hair, and I was the one I was like, oh shit, that's his sister's hair. But and then like as he's dying, he sees the hair. He's like, oh my god, he killed. I forgot her sister's
I
name.
think it's like Kayla or
Yeah,
something.
it's like, oh, he killed her, and then she's like, don't worry about that. We got to worry about you, and then that's it. And I'm like, why even bring that up besides like what you said that, but even then the way he could smell from far away and the fact that he had always been following her, like they didn't need to do that at all because they could have just been like, he's been like, oh, I've been still watching you and I can't take it anymore,
Mhm.
kind of bullshit. But even then, like the fact that they just brushed over that real quick, it was like, okay, like that's
it was
dumb.
it's just weird too because after he dies, like they get him into the bathtub. He's obviously dying.
Yeah.
I didn't think that Timothy, whatever his name is, was gonna die.
No, they
If
showed
he
him, they
died-
showed him get stabbed.
I saw that. I thought,
Mhm.
okay, well, it's just like a piece of the story. And then she
Yeah.
just stares at him in the bathtub and then walks off to go find his briefcase. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Did you just like put those things together in your head? Did you?
Well,
Like, there's no dialogue.
she started smelling. Did you see?
I guess I wasn't paying attention.
She like started smelling, and that's what that led her to the bag, and that's when she pulled it out and found that hair because she smelt it.
Ugh.
Yeah, because he was teaching her how to smell certain things, not just smell other eaters. He was teaching her how to smell death and how to smell like fuck, I forgot what else, but I remember that like he
Mhm.
taught her to smell death. So if anything, like I think that's like her thing. Like she kind of like, oh,
She figured it out.
I can smell something familiar, and that's when he saw the hair. She saw the hair and was like, oh shit. But even then, like you said, she kind of just like, okay, cool, we just did this. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, there wasn't that much dialogue.
No, not at all.
I mean, during the whole movie there really wasn't any dialogue between her and the boyfriend.
Dude, this actor is just like in Dune, is driving me crazy with his fucking head down mumbling. I asked you
think
like
that's just spiel. Like he just does that.
I asked you too. I was like, "What the fuck did he just say to her?" I'm like, first I was like, What did he say?" And you're like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Is he talking to her?" And you're like, "I think so." And then the third time I was like, "What the fuck is he saying? I can't fucking
He
hear
does
him."
do a lot of head down, like mumbling.
Yeah, soft speaking. I'm like, "Dude, I don't know what the fuck you're saying, dude. I can't hear you."
I think they try to portray him as like he's like hurt in his own way because he has to do this, and then
Yeah.
That
Well, even
whole
then they find out like his dad.
yeah, exactly. He finds out about his dad and how he did all that shit, and then like, he did kill the dad.
Yeah, he ate him.
He ate the
yeah,
shit. He
he-
said he ate the entire dad.
Yeah.
He said he ate the whole thing.
Yeah, because he had him. He's like, I ate the fuck out of him or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had him. Yeah, he fucking. I thought he killed him there because they said he hit him, and then he tied it. He wrapped his body up in duct tape, just except for his nostrils so he could breathe. I'm like, oh, so he left him alive. And he's like, yeah, I left him there for 3 days, and then by the third day, or by then, you could tell by the way he was breathing that he knew what was gonna happen. He's like, and I ate the fuck out of him.
I feel like they could have elaborated on like the way they kill, with the way they eat people, the way they need to eat people.
Yeah,
If
I
it-
mean,
if
I feel
they don't eat people, what's gonna happen?
that would have been cool to see or hear to learn about. Because
Yeah.
that old guy's like, yeah, you're just gonna need it more and more and stuff. It's like, okay, well, what happens? Because like they seemed like they were normal eating normal food.
Yeah, she still ate normal food. So did he.
Yeah, they ate Lucky Charms. I remember I was
Yeah.
stoked. And then
Because you wanted some.
but then there was like the whole thing where we're at the fair and she goes, I need to feed. Is that what she said?
She
Or-
says, "I'm hungry."
yeah, and they had just ate too, like at the fair, and
Mhm.
she's like, I'm hungry, so they knew. But like, what happens if they don't eat?
I guess they tried to like put that together with the mom, since she is in the cuckoo's nest.
Mm-hmm.
She can't do that there.
Yeah,
That's why she obviously started eating her hands.
that's why they kept her medicated because she would attack staff or
Mhm.
self mutilation. They said so. That probably was
Maybe it makes you go.
you
a
have
little-
like you you have to eat because they said too that she checked herself in. too.
Yeah.
Probably because of because the mom seemed like she didn't want to live that life and she didn't want it for
Mhm.
her daughter.
Mm-mm. And they tried to. I guess they tried to say that it goes back far.
Yeah.
People eating people. But I feel like they just left out a lot of things that could have made the story just a little bit better.
Yeah, this movie fell short heavy, man. Like, fuck, it was just a love story.
not
And
gonna
even
watch
then,
it again.
no. And then like I thought about watching it again today this morning. I was like, man, I'm gonna watch it again before we re-record or record the second half because I gotta see if this is as bad as I thought it was.
I'm gonna have to Google if there's like an underlying thing we're missing.
Yeah, do it after this, and
Yeah,
we'll bring it
'cause
up in the next episode.
I mean, it's probably gonna be some like weird, like artsy fartsy, like
Yeah,
they're in love kind of bullshit.
yeah. And it's like we got that, but like what?
We get it, but where's the scary?
Yeah, like and then like I said, like they could have just made it better too, where like that first guy, yeah, they cut his throat, right, and they ate him while he was dying. It's like, okay, well, I wanted to see them get to the point where they're somewhere and they like lose control, like when
Yeah.
they're like, let's try to be human or
Mhm.
whatever, or let's try to be people.
Towards
I
the
was
end.
like, yeah, I was like, okay, cool. They're gonna like and they're like living there and like, yeah, we have an apartment. She's working at the library on campus, so we're
Mhm.
living by the school. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, dude, that's what perfect. They got college kids ins and out. They're gonna that's how they're gonna
like
feed.
a Jeffrey Dahmer situation where they like let people into their apartment and they just eat the fuck out of them.
Right. I'm thinking that's what's gonna happen, and they're gonna get like caught,
Mhm.
and no, and then
Nothing.
or even then, like I wanted to see something where they like show that they still have to feed, or where they try to be people, where she's like, oh, let's try to be people, and like one of them loses control and gets them
Mhm.
caught, or gets one of them caught.
Which I'm 100% would have said it would have been the boyfriend.
Yeah, for sure. And then, but then again, we didn't get anything, dude. It just
I mean, to be honest, the scene before that shows them like living their regular life.
yeah,
Normally, I thought the movie was over because
yeah,
it faded to black, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's it." And then it
Yeah.
was like months later, they tell you where they are, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, so we're still going.
yeah,
We're still going."
yeah,
They had to add that one last kill in there.
yeah. I still didn't like I didn't like that ending, man. Really, the fucking boyfriend's like dying. It's like you don't need to die. Like this is something even in the '80s that they could fix.
There's the underlying message.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure it out here.
Yeah, and they're like, eat. You gotta eat me. You gotta eat all of me, bones and all, because you love me. Do it because you love me. I'm like, what? Why? Why does she have to eat? Yeah, she's probably gonna have to eat you to dispose of your body, but
And then
she
later,
yeah, later she's got to do it
there's
while
like
you're
a whole
alive.
ass fresh body in the tub.
Yeah, and then she starts like eating his chest, and he's like, it's like muted, and he's like screaming and shit. I'm like, why? You're just making his death worse for him. Like, what? The
He's screaming, and they're in the middle of like a college town
Yeah.
in an apartment complex.
Yes.
There's also a big fight that happened before them, and other people were screaming. no one's gonna go upstairs to figure that out.
Yeah, why the fuck are all these people
Like,
screaming?
they're in a rural ass town. Of course, someone's
Yes.
gonna come up there and be like, "Oh, it's okay, it's fine," and then it like cuts to the scene where the apartment's empty,
Yeah, and there's still a little bit of blood, but it looks like someone sloppily cleaned it.
cleaned it up.
The dude's necklace is under the bed.
Yeah, Timothy, whatever his name is, it's
Yeah.
under the bed, and then it shoots to the scene of them in the field, half naked. And
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
it's
I'm gonna
over.
look up what the ending meant. Like, did they end up living?
Did
But-
did she end up just eating him and then living her life?
Yeah, because that's the thing too.
Because now she's alone again.
Yeah, because the way it like that, like how we're saying it ended, like if the ending wasn't that they both ended up making it,
Mhm.
then what the fuck happened to her? She's just off in the wild again now,
Yeah.
just living.
Is
But
that
how-
supposed to be the scary premise that there's a fucking
Eater?
cannibalistic teenage girl?
Yeah, and then that's the thing too. It's like, so where the way her character progressed in the movie, we don't know how she, like, most of the time when. So have you seen the movie Teeth?
Vaguely.
Okay, do you remember the ending?
No.
So, but you understand the premise.
Yes.
Okay, so at the end, the end of the movie, she like leaves town because she's like, I gotta get out of here. So she's hitchhiking. The movie ends where she like wakes up in the car and she sees they're stopped and she goes to get out and the door's locked and she turns and it's this creepy old dude like missing teeth and he's just sitting there smiling at her. And then like she looks a little worried and then she like looks out the window and breaks like the fourth wall and looks in the camera and then she smiles, she smirks.
Oh,
So she's like, fine, this guy wants
this is what's gonna happen.
this is what's gonna happen. This guy's not gonna have his dick. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so there, we see the character progress in Teeth, where she's struggling with this new thing and the whole thing about being a virgin and stuff, because she
Mhm.
also like had the purity ring and bullshit. And then towards the end of the movie, she's like learning how to control the teeth,
Mhm.
and then she's learning that she can use it to like get back at like
Right.
the dude, her brother or stepbrother, like beat the shit out of the dad and sent him to the hospital, sicked his dog on him. So she came home and like fucked him and then bit his dick off.
Ultimate revenge.
Yeah, and then her boyfriend before that, like her boyfriend, they were like doing it and she wasn't biting or anything, and then like he gets a call from his friends. He's like, yeah, I'm doing her right now. He's like, yeah, say hi. And she's like, what? She's like, yeah, I had a bet that I was gonna be able to do this to you or whatever. And then so then she bites his
What an asshole.
yeah, so then she bites his dick off. So that was like, we see the progression of her, and then the way it ends, like, okay, cool, she's off in the world and she's gonna use this as a thing to
Yeah.
protect herself.
There was nothing at the end for this.
It's just everybody like her man dies and she's off, and then that's it. We don't know how her character progressed except for the part where she's like, let's try to be people, but they didn't give those characters enough time to be people for
No.
us to see,
There was
or
no
even
progression.
yeah, or for them to even show us, like, is this something that they can these two characters or even
Mhm.
her can control, or is this something that she can't control, and now her man's dead and now she's out?
Which means she's gonna go fucking buck wild.
Or is she gonna go buck wild, or is she gonna be, or is this something that she's gonna have to keep living with on her own now? But they didn't show that. They showed them living together, but and even then, like I said, the last guy we see her eat is that dude, the dude that they cut his throat.
Yeah.
That's the only, so we don't know, because even at that point she was saying like, I'm hungry, and then like they need, like, she needed that, you know what I mean, to feed. So we didn't see no character progression, where we don't know if after, because obviously they left that apartment either way, even if they left together.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even see her. I mean, you see her stick her hands in the one Sully, the one character,
Yeah.
to kill him,
Mm-hmm.
and she has blood all over her face, but it doesn't say like she went and ate him at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, so we don't understand, but because of that, we
Mhm.
don't understand, like, if they left together, we don't know what kind of life they're living. Are they still trying to be people, or are they just going back to what they were doing before? Or if he did die, did she leave and try to be people still, or did she leave and keep doing what they were doing? We didn't
Yeah.
we didn't get no
They
character
left us on a
development.
cliff.
Yeah, and not even a good cliff. Not like a cliffhanger where like, oh, I wish I knew what was gonna happen. It was like, what the fuck?
What's that?
What was that? Yeah.
I also love how you then towards the beginning of the scene, the girl they're sitting at the piano, and she goes, "Oh, she fucking looked at the camera. She fucking looked at the camera again."
Oh yeah, that one girl kept fucking looking in the camera, man, and I was like, she just broke the fourth wall. And then she kept doing it. I'm like, I think she's supposed to do that. I'm like, it just bugged me.
She just keeps looking.
Yeah, it was the first scene, so that threw it off right away for me. She kept looking in the camera. Did you see that?
Yeah.
She kept looking right at the camera. I was like, what the fuck is she doing?
And people were really hyped about this movie.
Yes, that's why I was so stoked. I was so stoked. And every kill you see in the trailer, that's it. Because it's just that one kill.
It's just that one time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to Google it.
Yeah. And then like I said, those characters, even Sully's character, they introduced, and they didn't really do much with him at all. They introduced him and showed what he's about, and he seemed like a nice guy. Like, considering. And then they bring him back again after her and her boy break up or like split up. And he's like, and he's even still a nice dude. He's like, hey, I see you're alone again. Like, do you want to like
hang out? And
like, he's being nice. Like, he doesn't seem like, she's like, like, he didn't seem creepy to me. He seemed like a genuine dude that sees this little girl who's in the position of that he grew up in, and he's older, and he's like, yo, like, I can help you for a bit if you need it. Because he even says, like, let's just for a little bit. Like, let's just kick it for a little. Because he's like, because I usually avoid eaters. He's like, I'll help you learn. So it seemed like genuine.
He wanted to help her.
Yeah, he wanted to help her. He didn't come off as creepy. He didn't
want to be alone.
Yeah. And even then, he didn't come off as creepy at all.
No.
And then the second time, yeah, a little bit more creepy. Because he's like, I've been following you, making sure you're safe. And, like, I see you're alone again. Like, how do you feel about it now? And then he kind of got mad at her. And even then, I'm like, okay. Like,
but it wasn't like he got mad at her, but it wasn't like, oh, okay, now this guy's going to become a problem.
Yeah, exactly. He just left. He was like, fuck you then. Fuck you. It was more like, fuck you. I'm out of here then.
Yeah.
Fuck you. And he leaves. They didn't make it seem like it was going to be a problem. And the same thing with the other dudes they meet. You know, those guys, you know, he chases after him, and then that's it. You introduce these two characters.
It was mostly like they didn't want them to leave them.
Right. But even
not that they were going to do anything to them.
No, yeah. But even then, that would have been cool to see down the road. Like, maybe if they built on it being a problem. Like I said, my original opinion of the movie was going to be, or theory of the movie, was they were going to meet these group of dudes, get that work together, and the boy would want to go, and the girl didn't. Well, over love, the guy's going to choose her instead of them, and then these eaters are going to go after him and be like, well, you know too much. We can't let you guys out.
Which would have been a great addition.
Yes, that would have been a good movie because, because they're still humans, throughout their way, they were going to run into normal people that were going to like just, oh, you guys are crossing the country, like that mechanic dude. Like, how cool would it be? Like, oh, the mechanic dude's going to help them out. And these eaters that are chasing them end up like eating or hurting the people that are helping them, kind of thing.
We're gonna have to just rewrite the movie.
Fuck, we could have made this movie. I could have made this movie.
You could have made this movie. The way you described it right now was very much like no, what's that? The Crazies. You ever seen that movie? The Crazies.
Yeah,
it's very much like that. They could have gone in that direction.
Yeah,
where they just try to find them. But I don't know.
I don't know. I wasn't a big fan.
Not after that, and I'm sad. I was really expecting it to be good.
Man. If you listen to the first half of this episode, I was so fucking stoked, and then we got this.
Now we're disappointed.
Now I'm disappointed. I got a headache.
Mine does too. My head hurts too.
But yeah, all right. Well, I mean, I ain't got nothing else to add.
No, we got to find another movie to go to make up for that shit.
I know one that we could watch, but we'll bring it up at the beginning of the. We'll probably stop recording right now. And then I'll tell you, and then we'll probably record the first half. That's
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's it from me, and sounds like that's it from Kelsey.
Yeah, I got nothing to add to that shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know if you guys liked it or not. I'd like to hear if somebody else got like the underlying. Please explain it. Yeah, please, man. Hit us up on Instagram or something, or
let us know.
Yeah, please. I need it.
We are confused.
We need
disappointed.
All right. Peace out, guys.